Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, my co-host, Joey Sampaga, also producer of the show. How you doing, Joey?
I'm hanging loose.
Hanging loose, huh?
Yeah, in this cold weather in Phoenix.
Yeah, cold weather. Actually, it did get a little cold, didn't it?
It did. Well, you know us here in Arizona, we're wimps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are wimps, I tell you.
Today. Yeah.
Hey, we're going to hit actually above 70 tomorrow here in Missouri. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't get some more tornadoes after that.
Oh, yes, that's
thing
right.
That just happened this past week. And I know this is going to be, this is recorded and it'll be a little bit later, but yeah, that devastation, that storm went just south of where we are. So yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Prayers go out to all those families for sure. So we have a great guest with us in the house today. We have Sam Levy with the Brokery, invited by Javier with Security Title. How you guys doing?
Good. We're good, man. We're here and hanging out, everything's good.
Absolutely. Well, I know we can't see Javier there, but I know that he's there with you.
He's in here. He's trying to hide his face, but he's here. So we're not going to let him sneak away that easy.
That's funny. Hey, Sam, why don't you start with telling the agents how long you've been in the business and what got you into real estate?
Sure. So I've been in the business. I've had my license for 7 years. Been a full-time agent for 5 years right now, I guess going on 6. What got me in the business? When I was in college, my grandparents' house had just been sitting vacant. They had both passed away. And I was kind of a typical college kid, didn't really have any direction or know what I was going to do. Was getting my degree in marketing and was kind of working at a marketing agency, but this house was sitting vacant and they were kind of just like, hey, do you want to try this? And you can make a big commission and, see how it goes. And I was like, sure, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And it was 2014. The market here was, really picking up speed and got my license, listed the house. It was $1 million house. It's actually this house right here behind me. This is my grandparents' house. It's in the neighborhood that I work and so it has a little bit of sentimental value, but it was $1 million house, got an offer. The first showing we did, cash offer, 5-day close, no inspection. Wow. And I made 30 grand and I was like,
I'm in.
This is the greatest career ever. Like, this is insane. And, from there, it was like, that was the highest point. And then it just like steep decline and it fell off a cliff. But yeah, that was kind of my introduction. And then it just, it's been a long road since then.
So you didn't go out and buy the Lambo or anything right after that one, right?
I really wanted to, but I did not. No, I didn't.
Oh gosh. That's funny.
Felt like I was Jeff Bezos after that close, I was
there you go.
There's no money. There's an ungodly amount of money, but yeah, it was a really interesting experience.
Well, I'm curious, when was your next deal after that?
Like 9 months after that.
Yeah. So you had to make that 30 grand last.
Yeah. I had another job and I was living at home and stuff. So I didn't really have any overhead, but I thought that after that one, I was like, man, I'm just going to if I can do one of these a month, like, God, it'll be crazy. So, but it took me 9 months to get the next deal and then probably 9 months to get the next one after that. And it was a grind for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what are you doing to, get business right now? Well, I mean, what have you been doing to grow your business?
Sure. Most of my business is referral based. So I would say 90% of my business is referral based. I do some advertising in like our local neighborhood newspaper and I send out some flat mailers and stuff like that. But the majority of my business comes from referrals. And so the main lead source is referrals. And I think I'm good at cultivating relationships. That's kind of like where I really succeed. And so the last 2 years of my business has really taken kind of like a rocket ship type of growth. I've dug into that really deep and just tried to find ways to connect better with my clients, stay in front of them in a non-salesy way post-close for, an extended period of time. And I've just had success doing that. And that's kind of what I do.
Got it. So
I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I'm curious. So when you first started 7 years ago, I know that you had kind of 2 years of still working and then you became a full-time agent, but
Sure.
many agents do want to become referral based. How did you get to that point? You know, I know when we become realtors, we first need to call the people that we know, let them know we're agents and, you know, that type of thing. But what did you do to get to the point that you're at now?
So it was a long, it was a long road to kind of see the switch, right? So for me, when I started out, I decided that I was going to make a bunch of videos and try to just release those kind of in a time release type of thing, right? So I can constantly be in front of people. That was my main thing. Like, I understood that people don't really need realtors until they need them, right? Like they don't really want to see content that's like tips and tricks and all this kind of like stuff. But I made about 300 videos that were each like, 30 seconds to a minute long, just like, what is escrow? What is earnest money? Like all these kind of easy things. And then would put those out on Facebook constantly, right? And so that helped me to stay in front of my sphere and my network. As far as getting the referrals goes, I kind of had a knack for like just staying in front of people after the close, right? I would try to gather some data, and I'm working on doing that at a deeper level right now that my book is kind of robust. But in the beginning, I would try to find out information like, what's your birthday? What's your wife's birthday? What are your kids' birthdays? What's your hometown? What's your favorite restaurant, right? Like kind of gather all this information so that I could use these data points down the road. Like the Cubs win the World Series, I'm hitting up all my clients that are from Chicago or that have ties to Chicago to just say, wow, the curse is broken. You know what I mean? Like just things like that just give me another touch. So then for the next 30, 60 days, if anybody in their network mentions real estate, I'm top of mind, right? So that was something that I just innately understood. And then I feel like I'm kind of good at marketing. So like I'm able to stay in front of my people in a kind of a sleeker way than just like saying like, hey, don't forget I'm an agent, like just, and I've always been good at that. But I do think for me, what got me to the point where the referrals were coming in was like gathering some personal data and then using it in a way that wasn't like overly weird
salesy
or like too aggressive. Yeah, salesy.
Not like you're stalking them, right?
Right. Nah, not at all. And I just pop in with some casual conversation, and it's worked for me up to this point.
So do you use a certain CRM?
I do
all that.
So I use Wise Agent, and I just have everybody's data in there, and now I have my assistant kind of like handles the calendar. But yeah, I mean, I plug everybody's data in there, and we're actually like kind of revamping it right now and just getting a little bit more data even. But I use that, and then for like, closings and stuff, I track it through the MLS and then plug it into the CRM, and it's
got it.
Easy, but,
so do you have any different marketing strategies or anything you're going to be trying for 2022?
Not necessarily. For 2022, I'm going to dive a little deeper into video. So I made that catalog initially, and I didn't get a great response from like, at the time, all of my friends were like early 20s. They didn't care, it wasn't a great strategy. I just had to have some content. So for 2022, I'm going to dive deeper into like more kind of community content, but not in your typical way of like interviewing coffee shops, restaurant owners. Like I'm going to try, I haven't quite built this out yet, but I'm going to try to do some really creative and unique stuff. I feel there's a big void in Phoenix for like somebody who's just a little different on social. So that's kind of what I'm going after. Video is my thing. Yeah.
Got it. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups that are all about YouTube for real estate agents.
Sure.
More than happy to share that with you.
I would love that
off air or whatever, but you'll have to go back and watch Christina Smallhorn was somebody we just interviewed, and she's built her YouTube channel up to like 150,000 subscribers. Wow. Talking real estate stuff.
That's huge.
You'll have to go back and listen to that one. All right. So 2022 video. So tell us a little bit about the style of videos that you want to do. Did you just mention you want to do like commercial, communities?
Yeah. So community in the sense of like, I have a lot of friends in my area and like around the valley that are business owners and like, kind of have unique businesses like clothing brands, tattoo shops, just kind of like stuff that's a little bit different, like I said, than like your average coffee shop. And I'm just not really your average agent in the way that I don't really, I don't fit into that mold of like, I don't dress up really. I don't, I'm not the most like clean cut person necessarily. Like I'm leaning into like, I'm leaning into who I am as a person and just trying to use my friends that have interesting, professions and, put them out there and hopefully capture some of their network. But yeah, so I'm just, before it was a big worry of mine to be authentic to myself. And like, now that I've grown my business and through being authentic to myself, I'm going deeper into that and like just leaning in harder than I have to who I am.
Cool.
So are you using a professional camera? Are you using your phone or?
Yeah, so I have a videographer that's also, I have a videographer. So I have him on retainer and we're doing it that way. I like the feel of produced content more than like the phone thing, but just because I could never really get the phone thing down. So I
hear you on that. And then I'm curious also, so you talked about doing the traditional type marketing where you're sending mailers out and, are you tying the two together, the videos as well as the traditional stuff?
Not currently. So that's also on the docket for 2022. Like the mailers are just to the neighborhood that I live in. And I just sent here, I can actually show you. So I just sent out this introductory mailer, basically, that's like a 4-page thing that just kind of says like, it's a little bit about me. And then on the inside, I had like client testimonials.
Oh, awesome.
And that's just kind of like, so I try to make it a little bit always about community and a lot of them. Yeah. And then the recurring ones will just be like just listed, just sold, like the typical thing. Right. So I'm trying to find a way to tie the two in. But currently it's just more about just listed, just sold, that type of thing.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
You should have somebody go around the neighborhood with those and just tape them on the front door.
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe I'll do that.
There you go.
And
driving your Lambo around.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I wish.
So you said that you do a lot down in Central Phoenix. Is that kind of, do you branch out from there or mostly Central Phoenix, I guess?
Yeah. I'm all over the map, right? I work for my network. And so, if I need to go to Queen Creek or, Buckeye or New River, whatever I have to do, that's what I'm going to do.
You pack a lunch?
Yeah. Pack a lunch and a dinner. But, most of my business now has kind of migrated to Central Phoenix.
Yeah.
So I stay, here a lot. And it's been great. We've seen this part of the city has seen tremendous growth, both in, home values, of course, but also in like new restaurants, new things to do. So I'm just, because I'm from here, I was born in this part of the valley. I grew up in this part of the valley. I live in this part of the valley. Like I understand like the back of my hand. So I'm just lucky that it's seeing the growth that it is.
There you go. Hey, I have an idea for you. You said that you have a friend that owns a tattoo parlor. Is that right?
Yeah.
So why don't you come up with 3 different tattoos you want to have, 3 different parts of your body, and then put it out to your database and let them vote on which one you're going to get. And then
that's
you can
a great idea. I'm going to get like maybe realtor across my forehead or, like sold, like just sold under the eyes, something like
No, I'm thinking seriously because people like to watch those types of videos. So you could do videos of the process of you going and picking it out and then a video of you getting it.
I'm thinking about getting a sleeve actually. So, maybe I'll do it that way.
That's multiple sittings right there for sure.
That's multiple sittings for sure. So maybe I'll do that. That's a great idea.
I think it can work. It is who you are, right?
Yeah. You need to do a video on that.
Yeah. I'll think about it. That's actually a good idea. Huh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That'll be 25% referral.
Right. Yeah.
Just keep track of everything that comes in off of those videos.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to hear about this off-market stuff because we talked about that before we actually jumped on. So tell us a little bit about your off-market marketing.
Yeah. So for me, I work a lot with like first time, second time buyers, right? And in our market, probably like the entire country, first time buyers are just getting squeezed. It's so hard to make deals happen, right? It's if you're putting 5% down or, FHA, whatever you might VA, right? It's very difficult to compete. And so what I've done is I've worked really hard to create relationships with investors and, people that do a lot of flips and projects to be able to have access to their inventory. So there's one guy in particular who I'm very close with. He's a mentor of mine, a very large investor. And we've been able to work several deals where, somebody's looking for maybe to spend 250, 300, 350, whatever it is. We've been able to work deals where he's been able to buy a property and allow my clients to essentially semi-customize the home with backsplash countertops, things like this to their liking and at their price point, right? So it's a really unique kind of setup that I have that allows me to do that. And then on the flip side of that, off market, also in the sense of like I'm very good at finding deals for investors, just because I've been able to kind of navigate those channels with wholesalers or whatever it is, even direct to seller. And I have a large network of agents. So in our office, we share a lot of pre-market stuff, off-market stuff, which allows me to utilize that. And I have my mentor who kind of helps me with the first-time buyer type of price point and product. And then with the investors, guys who are looking to do like maybe spec builds or, bigger flips, I'm able to utilize the wholesale network to kind of figure out those deals as well.
Oh, that's good stuff. So when you're working with the investor, I'm assuming they're paying you some type of referral fee, probably lower than, the typical 3%, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's all about my client, right? If I can get a first time buyer into a house where they don't have to have 50, they don't have to make 50 offers and there's going to be 20 offers on every single house. I can just put them in a position where, they get to pick some of the finishes and they get to be in there as close to their desired location as possible. And they know it's going to go through and, it's an easy deal. I'll take a cut on that, to allow my clients to get the deal done. And then, all the way up to the actual guys who are flipping, if I'm getting the deal on the front end and the back end, and doing multiple deals, right, of course, I'm going to give them a discount as well.
Yeah. So the advantage for the investor is they already have a buyer before it's even done.
Correct. Yeah. It's these are deals that are a win-win for everybody, right? If we can pick the price point prior, he knows exactly finishes he has to do, right? My client knows, sweet, I have this move-in date, right? I've done probably 4 or 5 deals, like this, maybe 2 or 3, 2 to 5, something like that. And, it's a great situation. My client, it allows me to look like I'm, way better than everybody else for some reason. And because I have this connection, right? And so the referrals that come from it are huge because it's a rare thing. So I'm lucky for that, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sounds like you got a great business setup.
It's pretty good. I'm blessed.
Yeah. 2022 should be a good year for you, huh?
I'm hoping, man. It's, it's been growing steady every year. And so I'm gonna, I'm hoping for a big year next year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other things you want to definitely share with the agents before we jump into the next segment?
Not really. I would say one thing that sets me apart that a lot of agents don't do is spend money on gifts. So for me, I spend probably 20 to 30 grand a year on gifts. And I've seen a huge return on that. So I would stress to everybody that doesn't think it's worth it to do that. At least for your top, referral clients, spend $100, a quarter, whatever you have to do to keep the referrals coming in. That's what I do. And it's worked for me. So, and try to find creative ways to gift as well. Like don't just give the, generic.
Not the magnet.
Yeah,
of your
not
face.
the magnet. Like my closing gift is either like I always give a Ring doorbell, and then I always give something else on top of that as well. So
That's good.
I try to make it cool, and then once a quarter I'll hit them with something plus the birthdays plus the home anniversary. I try to touch them a lot with love. So
yeah, the ring doorbell isn't cheap either.
yeah, but I feel like I'm going to make whatever commission I'm going to make. It's a small fraction of that. So, I give the ring for sure every time.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. Hey, Javier, are you in there right now?
He is.
Why don't you say hi?
Hi, everyone.
There he is.
This is the guy.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
He's probably a big part of your marketing, huh?
Javi is amazing, man. Anyone that needs any marketing help, data help, this is the guy right here. So, and he's a good golfer. So, that doesn't hurt.
Oh boy.
Oh, scratch golfer? Is that what I heard?
Not a scratch golfer.
Not scratch. Not close to scratch.
He's good.
It helps when Sam's trash.
I am terrible. So yeah, it's rough playing together, but he's my boy. He's an amazing title rep. So yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks, Javier, for getting Sam on the show here for sure.
Yeah.
Of course. Thanks for having him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Sam, you ready to get in the ring?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some.
Well, we can have Javi on there as well, because I haven't heard any of his answers yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Cool.
I'm here.
Cool. Okay. Well, we'll start right now with what do you think the reason is that many agents are not successful?
I think that a lot of agents don't work their database properly. They think that, are these like rapid fire? Or do you want me to elaborate?
Yeah, they're rapid fire, but you can expound on it a little bit if you like.
Yeah. So I just think that, if you have somebody that's giving you a deal or you're giving you a shot, you got to show them a lot of respect and love for that. And people tend to get transaction focused as opposed to relationship focused.
Yeah.
Javi, what do you think?
Database is always a great answer, but to just do something different, I'd say consistency. I don't see a lot of consistency with marketing. A lot of agents will reach out to me and say, hey, let's do this. And then we try it and then we do it. And then 6 months later, we try and do it again instead of, doing it through that 6 month span.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Jeff, I want to ask the next question.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me ask it. Do you prefer Android or Apple?
I'm an iPhone guy.
Apple.
Gosh.
Apple all day.
I thought I'd ask it a different way. Javi, please back me up on this.
I'm sorry, man. I can't be green.
I'm gonna be honest. When I see a green text come through, I'm like,
No.
Your number's deleted. You're gone. Like, I gotta be.
All right, I'm ending the interview right now.
Sorry, man. I would get most people say iPhone, but I respect it.
Yeah. Yeah. How about favorite Amazon Prime or Netflix series?
Ooh.
If you watch
it. Yeah.
It's a hard one because I do watch it. Javi, I'm watching it first.
My favorite is a recent one, Squid Game. That was really good. That was a really
crazy
good show.
That's a crazy.
I haven't seen that one.
You got to see that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You haven't seen it.
If you like Kill Bill, that's the kind of show you want to watch.
Really,
all right.
It's really cool. I'm going to go with True Story. Has any of you guys seen that?
No.
True Story.
That's a Kevin Hart series on Netflix, but it's like it's not a comedy. It's a dark, 8-episode series. It's quite good. Highly recommend.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for both being on here. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We need to give a big shout out to our sponsors, of course, Security Title Agency, which I guess everybody probably knows because Hobby's in there already, and Fidelity National Home Warranty as well. So if you haven't tried them, give them a shot. All right. Well, thank you guys again, and here's to a great 2022. So go out and crush it.
Thank you for having
Do
me.
it.
Appreciate
Absolutely. Thanks,
All
guys.
All right, agents, until next time, we will see you later. Take care.
See ya.